Hello and welcome back to the Hornby magazine workshop, where today we're taking a close look at Hornby's brand new model of the rebuilt W1464 for double O gauge. Hornby's brand new model of the rebuilt W1464s are here, and we've got a full review in issue 178 of Hornby magazine, our April 2022 issue, which is available to buy as a back issue from shop.keypublishing.com. Or alternatively, if you're watching this video on Key Model World, you can keep scrolling to read the full review right here online. And if you're joining us on YouTube, then just click on the link in the description to go through and find that review. Now, the rebuilt W1 was a follow-up to the original condition locomotive, which we have already featured on Key Model World and in Hornby magazine. The original locomotive was a high-pressure boiler locomotive, so a very different design in terms of its boiler and operating style. And after that being in service for about 6 years, it was taken out of traffic by the LNER, and then in 1937 it was rebuilt in conventional form with a new boiler and conventional valve gear, and it was turned out as you see here on the layout today. That work was carried out at Doncaster Works this time. The locomotive continued in service on the East Coast Main Line hauling express trains until June 1959. In that time it carried a number of different liveries, and on the layout today we've got Hornby's first two versions. So we have the model in original condition in its rebuilt form, that is, so original rebuilt condition if you like, which is when it was numbered 10,000 and carried LNER garter blue, and it also had valancers as well, so very much like a classic A4 locomotive, one of the Pacifics from Gresley of that period. Also on the layout today we've got the locomotive in its later period, so modelling it as a BR era locomotive when it carried number 60700, and in this case it's got an early crest on the tender side. There were other liveries too, including late crest BR for the much later period of its life, as well as different versions of the LDR colour scheme as well. Now, there are detailed differences between these two models on the layout today, and probably the most obvious, like I mentioned, is the inclusion of side valancers on the model in LNER blue, and the lack of valancers on the model in a BR green livery. Not so noticeable, actually, are changes to the tender, so there's two different tender types with these locomotives. The model in garter blue having a corridor tender with streamlined fairings on top, whereas the BR version has a non-corridor tender version as well. Internally, each locomotive is fitted with a 5-pole motor, together with a flywheel, and that drives the locomotive wheels, while in the tender there's space for an 8-pin decoder socket, as well as a space for a 28mm round speaker in there as well. I've been enjoying testing these two locomotives on the layout today, and they pull nice decent length scale trains here. I think we had a maximum of 13 coaches behind the BR green version during our tests, and both have run superbly throughout. Both of the models on our layout today have been left fitted with their flangelless trailing wheels underneath the locomotive's cab, and that allows them to negotiate tighter radius curves. So what else do you need to know about the W1? Well, we've already talked about how well they haul trains, and also you can see how smooth running they are here on the track as well today. And both of these are also being run, I should mention, by analog control today as well. They are superb haulers. I think they look the part of the W1 as well. I love the big cab of the W1, which has been captured very nicely by Hornby's design team. You've also got fine turned metal wheels, you've got sprung metal buffers as well, you've got NEM coupling pockets, factory mounted on the rear of the tender, and an option to add one to the front bogie as well if you'd wish. There are then optional parts to add to the buffer beam, including a coupling hook and a brake pipe. You can also add, if you wish, from the accessory pack, you can add extra brake ring underneath the locomotive, and you can also add cylinder drain cocks as well to the bottom of the cylinders. Inside, the cab is fully detailed as well, so it's a really nice space in there to add a crew. There's also plenty of space inside the tender if you want to think about adding sound, and we will have a full sound installation guide as well as a sound demonstration for you to watch here on Key Model World to go with that installation guide, which will be coming up in issue 180 of Hornby magazine, our June 2022 issue. In terms of price and availability, these two models are available to buy right now from Hornby stockists, and they're priced at £241.99 at the full recommended price. So that brings us to the end of this video demonstrating Hornby's new rebuilt W1464 for double O gauge, and don't forget you can read our full review in the April 2022 issue, which is available to buy from shop.keypublishing.com, or alternatively, if you're on Key Model World, you can keep scrolling below to read the full review right here, or if you're on YouTube, then don't forget to click on the link in the description to jump across to Key Model World to see that review as well, or use the link to the shop to buy your copy of the magazine. I hope you enjoyed this latest video from the Hornby Magazine Workshop as much as we have putting it together, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.